Please give this video a like, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Here is the finished tool. You got to watch the rest of the video to see how I made it. I want you to know about my Instagram. I bring it up every 5 videos or so. I'm going to start uploading videos, like edited 60-second videos of smaller projects to Instagram. Why Instagram? Is just because it's easier to make a 60-second video on some of my smaller projects that never make it to YouTube. So I put one up this Saturday as a test run. Had some feedback. A lot of people, well, maybe about 10 people, talking in the comments. So go over to my Instagram, follow me, click the post notifications, and look for some short 60-second projects. I decided I probably should turn the camera on because it's getting a little interesting. What I've got is this project where I need to weather these pine boards that are tongue and groove. I need to make them look kind of like this. You see how all ridges are in there? This one and this one. It pops more once it gets stained. And I have been using a wire wheel on a drill. It's just not going very well. I actually went through another one. You can see they were flying out. It was a much cheaper one of these. I'm going to attempt to make a tool with 2 of these wire wheels bolted together with some bearings, with handles that the drill will power. These are 5/8 inch holes, 5/8 inch bearings, nuts, but this is a 1/2 inch drive drill. It will only open up to a 1/2 inch. So what I got started without you. Over here at my wood lathe, I have a 5/8 inch by 8 inch long bolt, and I'm attempting to turn the first 1.5 inches of this down to a 1/2 inch or less. And this thing came with the lathe here. Well, all this came. I bought this used off of Craigslist for $100, the whole setup. And I started slow with the speed, and now got it kind of cranked up, and I've just been using my file, and it's actually kind of working. I'm definitely in the market for a benchtop mini lathe that would pretty much replicate this. This is real soft steel, and I'd also like to be able to work with aluminum, but for right now I don't have one. I got a wood lathe, and I think this might actually work. But I'm going to put on my face shield. I probably should have a flak jacket on too, but just going to do it for 30 seconds, stop it, check, make sure it's nice and tight. I did use this thing right here to hammer a divot in the center of the end of the bolt for that portion to go into. So let's fire this up and see what happens. To give you a close-up, you definitely see how it's flattening out the threads. I need to really take this end down so that there are no threads. So I got a feeling after 10-15 minutes of me doing this, I'll get there. Now this is working. On the right side you can see the threads are almost all the way filed down, but it's going a little too slow, so I'm going to change things up a little bit. Got an angle grinder with a sanding disc on it, and what I'm going to do is try to remove some bulk of the material, and then Once I get it down to the right diameter, I'm going to try to just true it up with this, and we'll see how that works. Wow. A little hot, but that actually worked. I'm gonna take a quick measurement and see how close we are to a 1/2 inch. It's still just a hair over a 1/2 inch. I put in a brand new 80 grit sanding disc. Well, that's pretty cool looking. A little warm. Just under a 1/2 inch. Now I'm going to take this and just kind of put it on there flat and see if I can get it, I don't know, probably doesn't need it, that's pretty close. Just want to get it perfect so it goes in the drill and doesn't have any wobble. Still on. Okay, here's the drill. Would you look at that? Wow. Would you look at that? I always thought that thing was going to be wobbling around like crazy. There you go, you can see it in that dark area. That thing is almost perfectly true. I impress myself sometimes. So this is one of the bearings. That goes on, and then I need to make a spacer. Now this will be the real test, if I can get these nuts to somehow...
I don't know how this is going to work. Wow. Well, that worked too.
Didn't expect that to work. So then this goes on. Wow, it's kind of crazy. So what I'm doing is just kind of mocking this up right now. And I will take it all apart, and I will need to make like a handle that goes on the bearings. Okay, like that. Hang on. Yeah. Oh, look at that. That looks perfect. This is what I'm going to use to make those spacers. So now, this whole thing is, I guess I didn't need to make it so long. This is a little longer than I need. But I wanted to have this mounted to a board with handles where the bearings are, or some sort of thing to hold those bearings. So this would be like a U shape. This drops down in there. Zip tie this to the board and turn it on, and well, it's the next day and I've had a little bit of time to rethink my idea for this tool, and I'm going to simplify it quite a bit. I was overcomplicating things just because I wanted to make something cool, but the fact is I don't have time to make something cool, and I need to make something functional. So the plan now is to make one handle that holds one or two of these bearings, and then bolt these suckers on and get back to work distressing these planks. I'm just gonna try to draw out a picture. That's how I usually come up with things, is just pencil and paper. So this would be my bearing hole. See, overcomplicating it again. Doesn't need to be comfortable. So I'm going to transfer something that looks like this onto this piece of wood here, cut it out with a bandsaw, and start drilling it out. How big are my fingers? I'm going to drill out the holes before I cut it out on the bandsaw. It's just easier to hold on to it, this larger piece of a wood, than it is a small piece of wood. Not really necessary, but that's why I'm drilling before cutting. There's a specific way you're supposed to be able to get these to coil up. I think you step on it and then, yeah, keep twisting it up, and then you get it in your nice storable size. Because I put a much smaller blade in here, I've got to adjust everything.
That's right.
So here it is, conception to reality. Now, I'm just wondering, hopefully this is oversized compared to the hole. It doesn't just drop in there. Man, that's almost, it's a good fit, but it's like a perfect fit. It would have been better if the hole was a 32nd smaller. So what I think I'm going to do is drill in and put some set screws, just some wood screws, so that the point of the screw is just sticking into the race on the outside. I think that's what this is called. Or is this the race? I don't know. It's going to touch the bearing part there. This is a 5/64 drill bit for a pilot hole. That may be too small. I'm going to bump that up to 3/32. Perfect. Here's my drive shaft. Still can't get over how good that came out. Try to put this together. This is, what am I doing here? Okay, that'll work. There's that. I may make a larger spacer to get this wire wheel further away from the handle. What I've decided is that this spacer is too short and it puts my hand a little too close to this wire wheel. As this wire wheel wears in, this is going to spread out. So I'm just popping this apart real quick, and I'm going to cut another spacer. Now this is much safer, keeping your fingers away from the wire wheel. I might actually wear a pair of gloves. Probably not though. This is kind of the moment of truth. I think it's going to work. Put this in there just perfectly straight. And that thing seems dangerous. I'll probably run it on speed number 2. There it is. So I think this is going to work. Right now I got to suit up because this makes a ton of dust. Get suited up, turn all my filter fans on, and get working on all these boards over here. It's a little loud in here with all the fans on, but I wanted to show you my quick test section. this focuses. That's what it looks like. Put some deep grooves in there. Kind of scoops out the grain. Shot from the other angle here. Really what I was going after. Makes it look like it's old, but it's brand new. This video that you just watched came out in the middle of the barn door project. So there's 2 videos before and there are who knows how many videos after. Just want to be clear that you can look anywhere around this date and find this reclaimed distressed wood rustic barn door. Please give this video a like, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe.